Okay, lady, I think I'm recording. Putting you in as the Queen of Pentacles, you Taurus. I know that I've used other significators in the past, but I thought this would be, let's try this. Okay, since this is your birthday today that I'm recording this, and of course I'm thinking about your question, and while you're watching this, you should think about it too. Your question was basically, where do you go from here? Focusing on career, but other things, your general mood, life with Zach, uh, housing, the things that are on your mind. So anyway, okay, let me shuffle. While I'm shuffling, just concentrate on the question. I will too. And what I'm thinking about is just, I'm asking for guidance. So even right now, while you're watching it, you can say your question out loud or just think about it. I always say this time is, you know, an illusion, as they like to say, which is, sounds better and better with every passing year. All right, Jenny. Jenny has a question about where to go from here. Please asking the divine forces with us to guide this reading, give us the information that we need and that Jenny needs. Divine guidance. Cards sort of showing themselves. We'll see if they keep coming. Okay. Right. Hmm. Quite interesting that only one major arcana card popping out at this time, which, that I sometimes I take that as a good thing, especially if you're feeling kind of a little discombobulated. Okay. So, the card that is the general situation page of wands. I think that this is perfect for like asking a question. You're asking a question about work, and wands can refer to enterprises. And as a querent, a questioner, a person asking, the page of wands is a good energy to be in because it's sort of like having a beginner's mind, I think is what I'm getting from this. And I mean, they can mean lots of things, but right now that's kind of like what I'm intuitively feeling. It's like it's a good energy for you to like have, like right now, not to have too many ideas or maybe be too influenced by what's come before and what your assumptions are and things like that. So like take some time to clear your mind and think about, and not think, I guess. It's like look for signs about, what could be next for you on a career path, and, be open to what it's telling you. It might not be something that you've done before or that you're expecting. And then the card crossing, the hangman, the only major arcana card, great position to have it in because this is like sort of your out, the forces working for you, the advice that the universe has for you. And the hangman, is asking you to honor sort of a transition time, a time when you're not sure, when you're just sort of hanging upside down from a tree. Maybe in a way you feel like you've really been through it and you've been this hangman can represent someone who's a sacrifice, like the Wicker Man or something like that. But it also can just mean, spiritual awakening. It can mean like having a pause from worldly concerns. Maybe a good idea would be to like go on a little retreat, really, and to really, um, find the time to connect to the universe, and to take a deep breath and pause if you can, um, to see if some answers come to you. In the root position, Six of Wands in reverse, I think the ground you're standing on just doesn't feel too stable. Um, it doesn't feel like, that you've been victorious, because when this card's upright, it's like a victory card. But I think it just maybe, um, some of the soil you put your roots into may not really be fertile soil, in the long run. So that's something I'm getting from that. Sometimes I like to clarify that particular position sometimes, so we'll look at that. Ace of Pentacles, the energy just passing away, maybe there was an offer, maybe you felt like, oh, there was a possibility of prosperity, or you were in an energy where there was like something that got started, but um, it may be that actually, I mean, I just say pay attention to the energy you've been in recently when looking for clues for something that you might want to do, because maybe there was an offer or a possibility or something just getting started that you haven't even been thinking of as, a potential career path or a job, or something like that. So think a little bit about what the recent, times there might have been something that you didn't see, that could be a possibility. Because, the aces being new beginnings, pentacles being money, or, some kind of material, practical thing. Up here, this is, we all know this card, okay? That Eight of Swords with the woman who's standing blindfolded and all the swords on the ground. And this is somebody who's not really taking action, but could take action because she's not actually tied to anything. And she could just like shake that off. But in her own mind, she's kind of been, um, I don't, not, I wouldn't go so far as to say self-sabotaging thing or anything, but maybe just feeling powerless and not realizing that she does have power. Um, and the, this is something that energy you can move into if you're not really paying attention to the advice card, which, and that's something I might clarify further too. But if you don't take the time to really connect to, spirit, and, um, quiet some of those voices in your head, it might lead you to this place where you're really like feeling stuck, but not actually stuck. Okay. This is great to see in the energy just coming. This is, well, a lot of people call it a Virgo card. It's like hard work, developing your craft, getting good at something. You're moving into a time period where it would be good for you to develop a skill, maybe a new skill, maybe you work on an old skill that you really would like to do. Um, and so like, maybe the next couple few months, it's just a time for to sort of put one foot in front of the other, do the work, be consistent in some kind of practice or some kind of development of a skill, uh, and just show up for it every day. But it's good because this is, when you're moving into that energy, then you feel like doing that. And it can yield good things. Okay, over here, the Nine of Wands, your feelings about it. The Nine of Wands, when it's upright, it can be somebody feeling very guarded and, maybe even a little resistant. So, you may just have been at a time, or are at a time where you're ready to kind of let some some resistance to something fall. I don't know what it is exactly, but this is another one we can clarify in a second. Um, and then Queen of Wands, this is friends, support. This is, a strong female energy with a lot of good juju power. So I think like, you do have friends and family and can refer to your partnership to might be, a good source of advice, maybe a contact, maybe somebody who can put you in contact with this person, maybe a fire sign, somebody who, for some reason Robin's coming to my mind. Maybe Robin will have an idea for you. Uh, but anyway, so that's in friends and family position. So that's good. And then over here, Ace of Wands in reverse, your hopes and fears. I think you're, just I'd say like since it's in reverse, um, and it's upside down, well, same thing. Um, the Ace of Wands might mean that you're just afraid that you're not going to get that inspiration, that you're not going to find something, that you're not going to find a job that you like. Uh, and this is a fear that you have that's somehow blocked, like your faith in yourself is blocked. And then lastly, this page of swords right here, is sort of the final outcome card. This could be a message coming to you. This can be like an offer of some kind, again, of a new beginning. It may, with this page and the other page and the two aces, it's got me thinking like that as far as job goes, it might just be something that feels to you kind of like entry level, but it could be good. And it could be really starting something new. Um, and I'm going to get some clarifiers here for some of these things. So anyway, I'm going to move these sort of so that you can see them all. Um, put that there. Okay. So as far as, let's see here. Um, Going here, I think I want to go to the Six of Wands and see. And you know what? I'm going to try to clarify with a different deck because you know how sometimes you get the same card out. Um, and shuffle it up a couple times and just see. For the root of the situation, what is it really referring to? A lack of feeling of victory. Hmm, Dropping a few cards. Um, I don't know. I accidentally have this hand raised up here. Doesn't mean anything. Okay. Um, all right. So got some cards pop out. So this eight, clarify. Okay. It's got the King of Pentacles in reverse. So, it might mean that you're just not feeling real comfortable. King of Pentacles. I'm not sure what Zach's sign is, but since you're the Queen of Pentacles in this reading, that's your significator. If the King of Pentacles is in reverse, it might be meaning that you're just not feeling on solid ground with your partnership, and that's hurting your self-confidence a little bit, or you don't feel like safe or you know, that your partner's not feeling super secure. Um, so let's see what more might come out. Some more stuff came out. Yes. All right. Oh, another page of swords and a six of swords, which is like moving away. So, it might be that you feel him pulling away a little bit. And the page of swords could be like maybe there were some messages or some kind of communication that wasn't feeling great. So anyway, we'll get some advice on um, later on. Like this page of swords offer here at the end. What does this mean as a final outcome? What does this mean? The page of swords as the outcome. Now you have it twice, so I might also do a little reading up on it. See if there's more to say. Okay. Oh, another hanged man. Okay, I'm gonna pause this for a second and okay, record settings. Uh, um, sorry about this. Okay, good. I'm glad I did that because okay, I'm gonna first of all go to the hangman in career work and finances. In a work-related reading, the hangman suggests that projects are on hold. Perhaps as you wait for funding, a reorganization or reprioritization. Use this time to your advantage to gain a new perspective on an old problem and develop a better solution. If you are stuck on an issue and unsure about how to fix it, step away from your desk and find a more creative space where the ideas can flow. This may also be when you wish to take a sabbatical from work to rest and re-energize. You may even be inclined to rethink your career path and consider a career change. In a financial reading, the hangman asks you to pause and reconsider the full picture. If you've been investing in one particular area, you may need to hold off on further investments until you've thoroughly reviewed your financial strategy. There may be also be delays in receiving money that you have been expecting, but this delay will give you an opportunity to see things in a different light. Okay. Um, so yeah, this the and then on the page of swords, in a work-related reading, the Page of Swords may represent you or one of your colleagues. It shows someone who is eager to learn more, to share ideas, and to communicate their observations and insights. If you are new to your work or your industry, then this page suggests that you approach your work with energy and enthusiasm. If you are well experienced, then this page may represent a new employee, such as a trainee or graduate who is looking to you for inspiration and knowledge. It could reflect a positive mentoring relationship. If you're in the midst of a job hunt or contemplating a new path, the Page of Swords notes your strong desire to communicate and express your ideas to the broader community. Keep in mind, however, that you have yet to build up experience, so while confidence is a good thing, be sure you take the advice of those who are more experienced or knowledgeable. Well, you're pretty knowledgeable in that area, so, but maybe it is saying that it's going to be some kind of communication kind of job that will have an offer for you. But again, since it's the page, it's possible that it may seem, like, oh, that's entry level stuff. But it may be that it ends up, flowing to in a really good direction. And so you got the Hangman twice and the Page of Swords twice, so I think it was good that we reread those. As far as the Nine of Wands and how you feel, I'm gonna ask for a little more on that. So clarify the Nine of Wands. The Chariot. Okay. So yeah, I think you're really ready to get moving on something. So even though earlier it's saying, hey, maybe step back, take a little break. Um, I think yes, there's some truth in that, that you don't want to plunge into things without connecting to yourself to make sure they're really right. But you're definitely feeling the urge to move for movement. But I just say be careful not to don't leap before you look. Look before you leap. For sure. Um, and then I think because you were asking about Zach, I don't see anything here other than like maybe you're just feeling like um it's you might need to like talk things out with him and see how things are, for you to feel like things are okay. Um, the star comes up. It's a healing card. It's a, very spiritual card. So, I think, the relationship could use some healing, possibly. I don't know. I'm completely just guessing there because I know nothing about it. So you know better than I do, about that. But I'm also going to get a fairy oracle card for you, to see if there's any further advice that you need to know. I'll say that like overall the reading doesn't feel too heavy, you know. To me, I mean it feels like the heaviness can be passing away, you know, like I said, having the Hangman as your only major arcana, but coming out twice. Well, you did get the Chariot and the Star eventually. Um, which I think means things are going to move and heal. You know, that's good. Good news there. So let's see here what the fairies have to say about it. Stuff. Ooh, the Maiden. Okay, number 22. Um, Here's the word. Nice one. I don't know if I've ever gotten one before. Always in that magic state between girlhood and womanhood, the maiden lives in the place where everything is possible. Love and romance are her lifeblood, where she walks in fairy romance blossoms and love flowers in her wake. The honey sweetness of first love is always on her breath. No matter what our age or sex, we must honor the maiden and acknowledge her in our lives and relationships. It is important to remember how we felt when we first became aware of romantic love, whether through our own experience or through books or films, whatever portrayed that first awakening for us. We become jaded with time and experience. We lock our young emotions away and forget about them. It's important to remember those emotions every once in a while. They will not always be happy memories. First love can be very painful, but even the pain of a first love is very different from what we feel as more experienced travelers in the realms of romance. When the maiden appears, take the time to remember how you felt when you first fell in love. Ah, you can't go back, but you can remember and take some of that wonder and sense of endless possibility with you on your continuing journey. Aha. So, I think in regards to your romance, you need to rekindle that feeling, and to remember what it is and take time to honor it. To remember, how you guys really feel about each other. And I think that is the advice that the maiden. Hmm. Well, I hope right now you are at a karaoke contest, which I hope you win, and that you have your great solo and that everybody is suitably impressed, which I'm sure they will be. Um, and we can always follow up on some of this too. But like I think like the pentacles on either side, like the energy you're in, I think, that it might seem a little unglamorous or, like there has to be some hard work and starting over and reckoning. But I think if you're, paying attention to some kind of new offer or possibility, that would be a good thing because that the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, the two aces, they were both upright, which is good. It doesn't mean new things. Um, but I think the energy flow is right there for it to be something that you can, make some money on. Which, hey, that'd be great. Anyway, happy birthday, Jenny. I hope that you're feeling like this reading helped you. And I will see you on Friday. I'm probably going to upload and send this to you on tomorrow because at work my connection's so much faster. So, happy birthday, and I will talk to you very soon.